At this tutorial we will see the use of standard placeholders used in lieu of string.format function. %C represents a single character corresponding to the given ASCII value. ASCII, it is short for American Standard Code for Information Interchange, is the most common character encoding format for text data in computers and on the Internet. In standard ASCII encoded data, there are unique values for 128 alphabetic, numeric, or special additional characters and control codes. A signed decimal integer is a whole number that can be positive, negative, or 0. In Lua, %d is used as a placeholder for signed decimal integers when formatting strings with string.format. This means that when you use %d in string.format, it expects to replace that placeholder with a signed decimal integer value. For example, string.format, my age is %d, 25, would result in the string my age is 25. If you used a negative number like -10, it would also work. A floating point number in exponential notation, also known as scientific notation, is a way to represent numbers as a coefficient multiplied by a power of 10. In Lua, the placeholder %e or %e is used in string.format to format floating point numbers in exponential notation. For example, %e displays the number in lowercase exponential notation, while %e displays it in uppercase. This notation is commonly used for very large or very small numbers to make them more compact and easier to read. A floating point number in decimal notation is a way to represent real numbers, including both integers and fractions, in computer programming. In Lua, floating point numbers are typically represented using the %f placeholder in string.format. For example, %f is used to format a floating point number in decimal notation. It displays the number as a fixed point decimal number with optional fractional digits. %g placeholder in string.format is used to format a number in a more compact way compared to %e and %f. It automatically chooses between %e and %f representations based on the magnitude of the number being formatted. If the number is large or small enough to be better represented in exponential notation, %g will use %e, otherwise, it will use %f for decimal notation. An unsigned octal integer is a number represented in base 8 notation without any sign, positive or negative. In Lua's string.format function, the %o placeholder is used to format integers as unsigned octal numbers. In this example, the decimal number 255 is formatted as an unsigned octal integer, resulting in the octal representation 377. %s in Lua's string.format function represents a placeholder for a string. It doesn't inherently represent a string itself, rather, it's a formatting specifier used to insert a string value into a formatted string. In this example, %s is used to insert the string value stored in the string_val variable into the formatted string. In Lua's string.format function, %u represents a placeholder for an unsigned decimal integer. This specifier is used to format integers without a sign, positive or negative. It is commonly used when you know the value will always be positive. In this example, %u is used to insert the unsigned decimal integer value stored in the unsigned_int variable into the formatted string. An unsigned hexadecimal integer is a number expressed in the base 16 numbering system, using the digits from 0 to 9 and the letters from A to F to represent values from 0 to 15. In Lua's string formatting, %x represents an unsigned hexadecimal integer placeholder. This means it expects a number in hexadecimal format, which does not include a sign, positive or negative. For example, 0xFF represents the hexadecimal value for 255 in decimal. You can use both uppercase and lowercase letters when representing hexadecimal numbers. However, 0x upper FF and 0x lower FF both represent the same hexadecimal value for 255 in decimal. The double % sign represents a literal % sign in Lua's string format function. These placeholders allow you to format different types of data within a string, including integers, floating point numbers, strings, and more. Understanding and using these placeholders effectively can greatly enhance your ability to format output in Lua scripts.